Hello, precious people. I'm Jacqueline Parks, and welcome to my studio. Sorry, the bright light behind me. So we're going to be doing something a little different today. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2007, so I have a ton of things. I have a ton of supplies for stamping, for card making, for tag making, die making. So what I wanted to do today, since I have a craft show coming up on Saturday, was make some stuff for Easter that's kind of, um, it's useful for people. So it's kind of like, what can you use? You can make cards, you can make tags, bookmarks, things like that. Kind of little gifts that you can give to people. So what I want to do today is show you how I'm going to do some watercolor tags. And so let me change this camera angle so y'all see what I am looking at. That's my messy desk, but I'll show you real quick what we can do. I've already done these. I've cut these out. So there's different sizes. And if any of you are interested in doing junk journaling, these would make great little additions to a junk journaling book. So I've already cut out all of these, which I'll end up painting. But for now, I'm going to move them over so you can see what I am doing today. This actually is not Stampin' Up, but it's something I got probably on sale somewhere, because like I know a ton of people who do lots of crafting, and so we tend to sell to each other our used little crafts so that we can get more life out of them if we don't want to use them anymore. So this is a traditional tags, and this is my Big Shot. So what I'm going to do, which if you've never done die cutting before, you need 2 plates, and this one is a thick, so I don't need any other additional shims in there. It's going to be perfect for that. And this is watercolor paper. So it's my arches. I like using the quality stuff now, because once you use the quality stuff, you just can't go back to the other cheap stuff for whatever reason. You like this one better, or I do anyways. So now I'm going to line this up right here, and I'm going to sandwich it and crank it through the Big Shot. Well, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the chat. Just type them up there if you're like, where do you get such things? I do not know if Michael still sells these dies. We do have some dies, but they're now thinlits instead of these thick things. But I like these for thick paper. So as you can see, it cut out 3 tags perfectly. And I have some extra paper here, so I can line it up again and get 3 more. Just run it through. You can run it through both directions. It doesn't really matter. It likes to make all kinds of cracking sounds, but it's not breaking. It's okay. Crack, crack, crack. And I see we have some good connection right now. Let's hope it stays a good connection throughout our whole live. Because last week we had some issues. I don't know what happened. Could just be internet being down, which happens a lot. Very frustrating, but part of life. All right, so now all done with my Big Shot. I can go ahead and put it off to the side and put all my tags out for you to see what I'm going to do. So I already pulled up on my phone some things, some ideas. If you want to see the ideas I'm going to be doing, let me show you kind of what I saw online. And I wish I could give credit. I don't know who the artists are. I definitely want to kind of do some of those bunnies and the crosses. I do have my newest paper pumpkin kit, which has some pretty stamps in it, so I'll probably use some Stampin' Up! Stamps. What else do we have? So let me go back to laying out all my little tags. And so these are really great because, let me get rid of that wires in the way. That was in the way. Okay, so I'm going to organize these kind of by size, since there's 3 sizes, right? So basically what I can do is kind of do this. And look, I already kind of have the stamp that I could do partially on here and do a flower if I want to, although that's kind of thick. Another really cool idea is masking off. So this is kind of thick. I think I have thinner washi tape I would want to use. So hold on one second. Alright, I got this whole bucket of washi tape. And I want something thin. So this is pretty thin. This is really thin. I might use this one. I don't know. One of those two might be good. As far as the width goes, it's kind of a good width. Let me put this over here off to the side. Ugh. Anyways, let's see. So this is one technique. Let me just show you real quick and easy. Take your washi tape. And what I'm going to do is make a cross on one of these. So basically washi tape is going to act as a mask. So I'm going to paint around and over this, and when I pull it off, the cross will be visible. Let's see. It's looking a little crooked there. I'm not sure. But I kind of like that. That looks like a good little cross right there. Let's see if we can zoom you in, and then you can watch this up close. So we'll move that over. Put this right here. So, like I saw in this one on the left, it's got some leaves and things like that. So that's what I'm planning to do. So I need one of my smaller brushes and get it wet. Get some of that green going. And I'm mixing up a little bit of green right here. Just see how that consistency is. So now what I'll do is just make some leaves. They could be ferns, palms. Whatever you want. So this is really cool. I'm just kind of experimenting with what I think would look good. It's kind of small, so it is a little bit harder to work sometimes with smaller images, but then you can use your smaller paintbrushes. And now I'm going to mix just a little bit of my lemon yellow in with this green. See if we can get some different tones. And I don't know what kind of leaves I want to make here. Just kind of like more rounded ones. going to give it some pretty variations to the size and stuff. And I'm not like real great with all these different types of sizes and things, so I'm just gonna get real creative here and just let things do what they want to do, you know, nothing too fancy. Like kind of longer ones maybe. And then we definitely need to put some of the darker green. And you know how I mix darker greens? Let me show you real quick. So we got my pure sap green, right? That's sap green. And now what I want to do is mix in some of this red. And look at how it changes it into like this pretty sage green. Look at that. So if you want to darken your greens, just add a little bit of red and see what happens. It'll be really cool. And so I'm just kind of adding some here and there. Maybe overlapping. It's fine if it's a little different. So I'm just really experimenting at this point. And just playing with it. I might go back to using some of this yellow, maybe this darker yellow. And what happens if we just go bam, put some yellow in there. Bam. And see, it can just kind of blend in there and look kind of pretty. Go back into this green. Yeah, I don't like that. That's too green. But I can mix some of this blue. See, I have some blue on here. I can mix some of that blue in it. And if you really don't like something, guess what we can do? We can dab it with a paper towel. And that kind of gets rid of a lot of the problem. But I do like this color green. It's kind of pretty. I'm just adding it here and there. And you can even do some splattering. What if you just want to put some blue splatters? You can do that. Splatter some just clear water. So that's kind of coming out pretty. So we're going to let this one dry. I'm going to put it over here and try a new one. So what do we want to paint on this one? Maybe we want to paint the bunnies. Do we want to paint the bunnies next? We can do that. So some people like to draw, and I was gonna ask if anybody's interested in some drawing lessons. If you want, here, I'll put this in the screen so you can kind of see it's still drying. But bunnies can be really fun to draw, and you can make them, you know, kind of. This is how I would draw a bunny in my youth. So kind of more of a comical, cartoony one. And a little round body. Little tail. And then I put the little arms and the little feet. And then of course whiskers. But that would be kind of fun and cute to make as just, you know, something just kind of cute. And of course, watercolor always dries a lot lighter than how you put it on, so don't freak out too much that my bunny's so dark. I want to put some of this blue just for shadowing on that tail. Shadows are important. And then maybe some pink for the ears and the nose. And then when this dries, I can always make some white gel highlights. Okay, I'm just going to fill this in because it's just kind of fun. And if you are into mixed media, you can layer this with stickers, some, what you call it? So that is just something simple. You don't even have to know how to draw too good. But if you're having a problem with drawing, like let's just, and I always get sidetracked, but I was saying how I might offer some drawing lessons in the near future. I had a friend contact me. She wants to learn to draw. And I'm like, okay. But this is a stamp set. So if you don't know how to draw yet, this is really great because you can use stamps. And this is still a current stamp. So you can currently get this from Stampin' Up. I have a website you can go to, which is Jacqueline Parks at stampinup.com, I think. I don't know. You can always just go to my stampinturtles.com and find that link when you first go on the website. So as you can tell, the images here are smaller than the images on this stamp. So when you want to see if something's going to fit onto your card, you can do this. You can line it up and see if you like these flowers, if you like this flower. So it kind of, you just move it around and see what you like on here, right? So I do kind of like this palm tree, and I'm going to do this real quick. Now you can stamp it in any color you want, but what if you have to, oops, I don't have a block. Let me see if I can find a block real quick. All right, I found a block. So here's my clear block. And I'm going to just put this right on top. And I think I'm going to use the black ink, but you can use like a gray or something that would blend in. Another thing that's really good to have is this matte board to stamp on. So what you do is you put your paper on here, so when you stamp, it's not going to get all that wood grain from underneath. So we're going to do this just super quick. But I like utilizing my stamps still with my newfound art interest in watercolor, because I don't want to have to get rid of all of these. So we're gonna put this like right here. And see, I didn't get that real clear. So Sometimes that happens. If your ink pad is old like mine, it sometimes sags in the middle, so you have to get it all the way to the edges. Now the good thing about clear is you can reposition, hopefully, and just restamp it there. It's not working. Let me flip it over. Sometimes that's always a better case. And this ink pad might be needing re-inked. I'm going to stand up to stamp it. Hopefully it'll work this time. That's better. That's better. And the cool thing too about stamps, if you're wanting to do something that's a little bit like a tag where you can just stamp something on there. So this is a saying that I could put on here, and so I just put my stamp on there, and then I can put this. But see that, I don't know if I like that. I may have to toss that one and try again. Let me see. This is better. So I like that. And what I might do, instead of do black with this, I might do some watercolor on there. Have you ever tried that before? So let me just make sure the black's off here. I'm just going to use a little paper towel and do that. So now I'm going to paint this with some of my watercolor and see if that can be used as a form of painting, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's check it out. We're experimenting. Kind of like experimenting. I don't know about you guys. Ooh, very cool. Very cool indeed. And then you can also fill those in. And spread that around. But watch this. I'm going to get some of this yellow. That wasn't very yellowy. Like that. Maybe just a little bit of that blue. Maybe just a little bit of this color. Well, I like it. I like it. What do you guys think? Does that look good? I think it looks good. Alright, so I'm going to wipe this off because we don't want to keep this dirty. It's not good if it's dirty. But look at how pretty that tag is. I mean, really? Can I get it any closer? I don't think so. That's as far as it'll zoom in, I think. Yeah. But I think that looks really pretty because it's a very abstract kind of feel to it, I think. And so then this one is kind of getting dry. It's not 100% dry yet, which is, I don't know. It's taking a while for stuff to dry. So now I'm just kind of cleaning this up. We do sell Stamp and Mist if anyone needs that. I got that. Helps clean your stamps and conditions them. But so far I've got these two, and I'm not going to remove the tape until this is completely dry, which I can tell it's not completely dry. And I may even want to add some more on there. But we'll see what happens when I peel the tape off. And of course I did this silly little guy, which I didn't spend a whole lot of time doing much on him, but that's okay. Now here's another little stamp that I have. This one's retired, so you can't get it anymore, but it's a butterfly. And I do like butterflies. I don't know if you like butterflies, but if you do, give me some hearts in the chat. But this little butterfly is smaller, so he can go on here. So I'm going to push these guys off to the side to let them dry. Get my board here. And this one I'm going to do some black. Maybe if it inks up really good. I'd like it to ink up a little bit better than that, but that's okay. So I'm just going to do one little butterfly right there in the middle. And so I've done that, and now what I can do is get one of my smaller brushes and give him some orange, give him some yellow and orange. Is it a monarch? Is it something else? I don't know. But we're just going to put some color on him. Have y'all seen any butterflies lately? I don't know when they're going to start coming out. But it was a really nice day yesterday, and we were spending a lot of time outside, just enjoying the nice weather after church. And see, I just like splattering, y'all. Splatters are so much fun. Now for his little body, I'm going to do some Payne's Gray and Burnt Sienna. Kind of makes it a darker color. Now all these little spots I think are going to be this darker Payne's Gray. And I probably should have waited for it to dry before really putting those in there. But if we don't like it, what do? We dab it and get rid of all that. And then we can start over. You know, I could always do the black first, which I just use Payne's Gray. Well, that's still really wet in there. But it's just kind of fun to play. That's what I'm doing, playing. Just playing. So that might look really pretty once it's got that orange back in there. But I'm going to let that dry. What are some other things that we can do with these little tags? Let's see. This has, that flower is really big. That would be better for the bigger tag, probably. So this would be green. That's a lily. Kind of like the lily maybe off to the side. Hey Christy, oh thanks for saying it's pretty. I really like this one. Look at how this one's turning out. And I painted watercolor on the stamp. So I know you got a ton of stamps. If you want to bring new life to them with your painting hobby, just use the paint or watercolor right on top of your rubber stamp and then stamp it. I think it just makes it super easy. And as for my craft show coming up. I think having some options for that show to sell that might not be too expensive for people would be tags. So I've been die cutting some of my tags out and with watercolor. And it makes it really easy to make these cute little tags, and I don't have to hand cut them with scissors or anything. Ah, thank you for the hearts. Love it and love you. Is that what that says? The hearts in front of it. I love doing that. Cool. So yes, thank you for the hearts. I'm waiting to do this one. I have to wait for it to kind of dry before I peel off that washi tape. But then the cross is going to be white in the middle. So that should look really, really good. And then, of course, topping all of these with some really pretty ribbon, which, Christy, let me know in the chat how much ribbon you still have. Because I know you were trying to get rid of some of your ribbon for a while. And I know you did a bunch of giveaways. So if you still own a bunch of ribbon, let me know. So I'm just going to see if this is ready for some more color. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's still a little wet and blending a little bit too much, which kind of drives me a little nuts when it won't dry fast. I don't know why today is one of those days where it's just not drying very fast. Now I'm going to add some of this yellow right on top. Sometimes you blend on the paper. Blending on the paper is what really can be fun. But I don't know why, but this is not drying like I thought it would. So I'm just going to lift up and see what happens if I lift all that up. But that one's going to need some time. It's going to need time. I do have some bunny stamps. I don't know where I put them. They're probably in the other room. I'm not sure if I want to walk all the way to another room in here. But I did want to try that Easter lily. So I'm not sure if I should stamp it in like a pale blue. That would probably be the best option for this, I would think. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put one like kind of sideways, maybe a little lower and to the side. So I'm going to paint that with the blue and see what happens. Real pale. Can y'all see what I'm doing? So I think if I do this blue, although the center might need to be a little bit with some yellow. Yellow. So I don't know. We'll see what this looks like when I stamp it. Like with the green palm, it looked really pretty. And you can always use ink pads too, if you have all the ink pads, which I do have a ton of ink pads. But I just wanted to share with you how you can use some other things if you don't have ink pads. So what happened? It's very faint and there's a lot of green in that middle part. So I'm not sure if I like that. I may just take this and do all the dabbing. See how I dab that out? And it works really good. And if you use a little bit of clear water, you can always go in and just blend out some of this. Make it look more three-dimensional. Get rid of any little harsh edges. Get some pretty little dimension there. Can you see that? Yes, you have a ton of ribbon. Ton of ribbon. So make some tags. Do you have your class today with your Bible art journaling? I forget if you said you do it on Mondays. But I'm gonna go in there with some yellow. Look at that. I just kind of put it in there and drag it out. And just like that. Like that. It's real pretty. What I can do to kind of make it fun is add some of this, like it's pollen. Pollen's coming out. Now I got it all over those leaves. I don't know if I wanted that. So I'm lifting and dabbing on my paper towel, just like this. Super easy to remove anything you don't like. Just like that. But I do like the blue. I think the blue is making that look really pretty. And the next step is the leaves. Now this does have a stamp with the stem and the leaves, but I think I can pretty much do this without. Let me just add a little bit of red to this green because I don't like it super vibrant green. I think it needs to be a little bit more. Do we want it to come straight down like right here? I think that looks good. Now we're gonna do a nice big leaf right there. And the other one. And it can go off. Just a little bit, go off to the side. We can add some yellow in there. And of course, everything should be layered. If you want to layer it, you can. I don't know, maybe the stem should have been over here, but that's okay. Might just blur it out just a little bit and make it a little less. Maybe I will move it over. It's okay, you know, sometimes you like, hey, I don't like where it is. I'm gonna move it over. Can you do that with watercolor? Of course you can. I always say there's no real mistakes in watercolor. You can always try again. So do I like that? And that was a little bit more of a bluish colored green, but that's okay. I think I like it over there better. It's on Tuesday, your class? Okay, so Tuesdays, if you haven't already planned it, which you probably have, you're always a planner. But tags are always fun to do. Cards, you probably might make some cards at some point with them. Let me see what else I'm going to add to this. And make my green just a little bit darker. But see, now I've kind of got to wait because all that is very wet. And if I don't wait, it's going to get kind of messed up. But I might add some green down here just to make it look more grass, like grass. And maybe a little bit of blue, little blue sprinkles. So there. That's looking pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's looking okay. All right, now I'm going to look at this again and see if it's dry. I don't know why it's taking forever to dry. It's not shiny, but I can see there is still something going on. But I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to do this. Please don't tear paper. So I just took off that piece. And now I'm going to take off this one. But look how pretty. Doesn't that look nice? And it was really easy to accomplish that. Just with some washi tape. And I have like all kinds of washi tape. I can do bigger ones, smaller ones. It's all great. So yeah, I like that. That looks good. So far, this one's my favorite. This one is not turning out to be my favorite. I don't know if I just need to restamp and retry. But I go back in with some yellow, but everything is already kind of muddied up. Now, if I had some gouache, I could just go right over the top of this and it would look really great. But I don't know. It's okay. So now what I might do is, if I can find my phone, there it is. If you guys know about the DaVinci app, it's really great because you can actually draw from photos. So what I might show you guys how to do real quick, if I get my pencil out, is see if we can draw these little bunnies. And do I have my little, we have to have an anchor, which my anchor is in the other room, but I could start a new anchor maybe. I don't know, do I have other anchors? Let me see. Anchor help. No, I don't want to leave the DaVinci. Tools. Okay, so tools, you need to find your anchors. So I have several anchors, I know. Ooh, I can use that one as my anchor. So there, we'll use that one. So now I can use that as my anchor. Maybe I gotta put it up here. And then I'm gonna move and resize that bunny. Can you see what I'm doing? So I can resize the bunny. I need to move some of this up. It's hard to see where I'm at. Okay, so if I want to reposition that and I want to draw it, now I can do this. So I'm letting you in on a little secret here, people. Of course, if I don't tape this down, it's going to be moving while I try and draw. So I'm going to tape it down real quick. See if I'm going to have to remove. Do that again. Do I want it right there? Can you guys see what I'm doing? It's kind of hard. Kind of hard to show you. All right, so now I'm just going to very gently outline this bunny. But like I showed you before, you can do bunnies from like your childhood. They don't have to be accurate bunnies. They can be just be fun. Oops. It's kind of hard to do this when you don't have your hands free. So that's just the top of the bunny. But see, I've got this outline now, so I can paint him. And the cool thing about the Da Vinci eye is that you can use it to resize something. So if you don't like the size of something, then you can do that. So I'm going to mix up something that's got some of this brown in there. I think that'll be good, but real watery. Because right under there is a little darker. And then right in here seems to be a little dark. So I'm just using some clean water to spread that out. Now look at that, making him look fairly pretty. Has a little bunny. And that ear right there. But there is white right around the eyes, so you want to avoid painting that. His nose is going to be darker. I don't know why this bunny is reminding me of that show when I was a kid called Watership Down. I don't know if it was a very good show at all, but I do remember. I think my mom did not let me watch it. Which is funny. All right, little nosy right there. A little bit. Adding some, you know how I like to keep adding shadows. That's what we do with watercolor. We keep adding layers until it looks right. But he's turning out okay. A little bunny. And I took out the flowers. A lot of times there's copyright issues, so I don't want you guys to get messed up with the copyright stuff. So if you really are going to be selling anything, you want to make sure it is copyright free. Use your own. You can use your own images off your own phone that you've taken, and you have no problem. You have no problems then. But if you choose to use one off the internet, make sure you got it from a place that says it's copyright free, which I use Pixabay. That's a good one. All right, so he's turning out pretty good so far. Let me see, do I want to add just a tinge of pink in the air? Maybe just a little bit. Subtle, very, very subtle. And then of course the black, which I use Payne's Gray. And I'm just getting that in there just to make sure I don't lose that eye. Might do a little bit on the nosy. It has like a line right there. And it might be too dark, but of course it always dries lighter. I just keep drying it on my paper towel, which I should bring over here. You can see. I'm just dabbing it, trying to get that lightened up a little bit right there. All right, so far so good. Might go back in and do a little bit darker and under that arm. That's a little arm. And I'm going to make one right here too. And right under his chin. the thing is just kind of blending that. Just blending. There. And you can spend a lot of time on your bunny or a little bit of time on your bunny. And another thing I have that I may end up using is my label maker. Instead of stamping words, I can use a label. I use some of this black. You know, I like my Payne's gray a lot, but it's very blue. So I'm just making the shape of that eye come out a little bit. Of course, it lightened really a lot. And if you want to, you can always use a pen. So I have several pens. These are really good. These Micron pens. And you can go in and you can do the little line for his whiskers. And then his eye. So that made that come out really good. And then if I wanted to, I could use this pen to create more like of a line and wash. I don't know if I want to do that though. Sometimes the line and wash, I mess it up and I don't like that. But yeah, there's a little bunny. So we just drew him real quick. Oops, is it? And I can add some flowers in there, of course, some ribbon. Let's see, that's just my thing there. So far, so we've got a couple things going on here. I don't know where my butterfly went. The butterfly, it's gone. Did it flip over? Is that it? Yep. Okay. So I've got these, which they're okay. They're okay. My favorite is this one. I just really like that one, how it's looking. And then, so some of the things you can do to make this look really good is add elements of like mixed media. So you can die cut some more paper, put some stickers. I'm just trying to get this to be a little bit more defined. And my green is not cooperating. That's okay. And then just swab that out, get kind of a highlight area. There we go. So let's see. I don't know, what else should we try and paint on these? Could paint some purple thistles on this one. Sometimes using these dry paints, you have to re-wet them, and they don't give you as much paint as you would really like. So these are my little thistles I'm doing on here. Maybe. Maybe that's what they are. And add some green, because the thistles have some green at the bottom. So with this one I can do like some purple ribbon. That would look really pretty. With my bunny, I don't know if I want to put some words in there. I can always just write the word on there if I want. I can write the word joy. And so sometimes I like to go back over with my pen. That'll look good. So joy. I have some washi tape that's really nice. It's got it says Grace carried me here, and by grace I will carry on. That's really nice. And of course, using all of this will be kind of hard, but I can tear and put some right here. By grace. By grace, I will. And then this one says carry on. I don't want the little dots. Take those off. So see, that's one way you can use washi tape. I have other little stamps that I can use. This one that says peace I give unto you. So I kind of like that. Let me see if I can find it. And who doesn't need more peace in life, right? Oops, that's upside down. Let me see, flip it over. So I'll move that over too. Because he's still wet. All right, I'm gonna try my black ink again here. I'm probably fighting a losing battle. I should just go get my reinkers, but sometimes you just gotta keep persevering, right? So that looks nice too. See that? I like that. That looks nice. And I will show you guys how the ribbon goes on there. Find some good green ribbon. Alright, so here's my ribbon. And I might zoom you guys back out just so you can see what I'm showing you. That I have way too much of. Move that over there. So see all this? Got lots. I like this twine. It's really pretty. Let's see, lacy stuff. This is real pretty with like a gold in it. If I can find the end. Oops, there it is. So this is real pretty. And I gotta use my scissors. I can find my scissors. For some reason, everything is in the other room. Why? I do not know. It's like I must have been crafting in the other room because that's the only reason I can think that it's all in the other room. And I do have. Let me see. No, I don't have no scissors right here either. This is probably not going to work, but we'll try it. Alright, so I found some that I'm going to use. And Move all this out of the way for a second. And bring this back. All right, so this is really pretty. I'm going to use it on this one, I think. It's got that gold in there. And what I like to do is fold the ribbon in half and put it through. And then just wrap it through the top. And that way you can have it like that. You can use some fluffy. I have some fluffy ribbon. Maybe this one will be really pretty. So this is lacy and pretty. So getting it through some of these holes, it's going to take some. But that worked. And you can also just tie it like you would tie shoelaces and see how you like that. So that's kind of pretty. You need different colors. I have to cut that down a little bit. I wanted some purple too, but I don't see it. This is actually really pretty, and it's brand new. It's like a faux leather. Got Stampin' Up! Cells, and it's real thin. So I like that it's real thin. Like the diameter of it. It's real thin. Hey Adela, it's so good to see your name in the comments. Hello, hello. I'm trying something new today, but it's still watercoloring. So, but I've been looking on your Facebook. I haven't seen new paintings, but I'm sure you've been busy. So here is something. It's real shiny, real pretty. I might use it on that. And I might use it how I used that one. So let me see if I can do that. So it's going to go through the front. Maybe. Maybe it'll go through the front. Or maybe not. You guys are like being captivated by my tying abilities. So I like just pushing it through there and then pulling it tight. And that's a different way of doing it, but it still looks very pretty. So I don't know if you guys can see with the different ribbons, different washi tape, stamping, and masking. So that was a couple different techniques we showed. But I think the one that I like the best is this one, just because it really looks artistic to me, painterly. Anything that looks real painterly. I also liked how this bunny turned out. He turned out super cute. Can you see him? He did. He turned out cute. My butterfly needs help. The iris was pretty good. I like it. It's fine. So very, very pretty. And ended up not being too bad. I use these scissors, y'all. This is how you make grass. But when in a pinch and you need to cut your ribbon, it works. These things would be cute too to add on here. They're just little adhesive embellishments. And they're this kind of, I'll use the white background so you can see. It's very shiny, almost like gems. And I like this color blue. So that blue would be really pretty to put on here somewhere. So like I could pull one off and put it under here for that, and like one of these. So therefore I've just put a couple on that. You could do it on here. You could put some on here. You can do a big one and a small one. You could do a brown one. Any of these would be great. Look at that. See? Not too bad. It's a different way of creating. I did actually buy a bunch of these little canvases to do some mixed media on. So, and you can always add a magnet to the back, and then they can become fridge magnets that you can sell at craft shows. So I just bought these little round magnets at Michael's, and you get 52 of these. I only have like 4 of these little mini canvases, and so I might do 4 of these and put different words on them, maybe like hope, love, joy, peace. Or I could do the one stamp "He is risen" and put that on there and glue it on. But I do really just like all of these. They turned out pretty nice. But yeah, what should my scripture be today? Let's see. So, I've just been having a very busy week and lots of stuff going on. Trying to get some things ready for my craft show, taking care of commissions. I almost did a whole video today about commissions, but maybe I'll do that next Monday, because right now I didn't really prepare to talk about commissions, and I wanted to be something more fun today anyways, more like let's just get creative and craft and make whatever we want and not have to be tied to one way of creating art. So there's lots of ways to make art, and I think they're all valid. They're all good. So if you are a paper crafter and you don't feel like you're an artist, you are. You just have a medium where you use paper. And then I also have enjoyed stamping for many, many years, and that's the thing that has just brought me a lot of joy, and sharing that with others. So I really enjoy that crafting, and it can be an art form, as you can see. Look at all these. So I did watercolor, and I did stamp, and I used washi tape to mask, and I used ribbon, and I used a die cutting machine to make the shapes of the tags, although that's pretty easy shape. You can cut yourself with scissors. So, but I just think it's really cool that we can do all kinds of forms of art. And some people draw, and I think you saw, have you seen my eye series from last week? Did I draw this last week? I did. But every day I posted in my shorts videos a different eye. I don't know if you got to see them all. Oh, where did I put them all? So I may end up selling these, you guys. It's hard to find the camera. Let me just transition again. So definitely might put these on my website for sale. They're only 3x3, so I would say each one is probably $10. We'll just say $10 per watercolor. And this one I think was a favorite of many, many people. And this one's the human eye. Yeah, you love the eyes, Christy? That's great. I really liked them. This was the eagle. This was the alligator. This was a kitty cat. And a horse, which I didn't know pupils went horizontally on a horse, so that was kind of interesting to find out. And then a dog. A doggy. So let's see. 11:11. Let's look up some scripture. That some people say that's the angel number is 11:11. Um, let's see what it comes up with. Revelation 11:11. I don't know. Are we in a Revelation day kind of mood? John 11:11 says, "You will survive so long as you trust in God." That's interesting. Oh, and it talks about Lazarus has fallen asleep. Let me tell you something. There's The Chosen that's coming out in theaters, and I think the next episode is going to be raising Lazarus from the dead, which I can't wait. I can't wait to see how they portray that in the show. In Deuteronomy 11:11, but the land you are crossing the Jordan to take possession of is a land of mountains and valleys that drinks rain from heaven. Interesting. I don't know. It's kind of not giving me any one particular scripture. There's a couple different ones, like even Hebrews 11:11. Says, by faith, Sarah herself received power to conceive, even when she was past the age, since she considered him faithful who had promised. I like that. Because it's really by faith that we believe in Jesus. I think about that often, like how the show The Chosen portrays the believers, the followers of Jesus, and it shows their struggles. Like they had a hard time believing some of the things they actually saw Jesus doing and saying, and the healing that he did. So we think, oh, if only we could see the real physical Jesus in front of us, we would believe. Or if he really showed up and I could hold his hand or hear his words audibly, then I would know to obey him. But it's really hard, even with being in the same room as the physical Jesus. It was hard for them to follow and obey. We see Peter, who was picked to be the rock and foundation, right, of the church. And he denied Jesus 3 times because of his fear of death and what they would do to him. So here's the thing we need to remember. We don't let fear control our lives, and we trust in the Lord. And we have faith that we go to a better place than here when this is done. But for now, we are here, and by grace, we have been given more time to spread the gospel. So I hope that that's been something, if you're a believer, that you've felt a calling to do. I need to go watch my church sermon from Sunday because I was not able to go in person, so I need to watch it online and see. Someone said it was about our calling, so I was like, oh, I definitely need to see that. So if you guys are curious about listening to Three Circle Church, you can go look that up on YouTube and see all their past sermons. But I heard that the last one was about our calling, which I love that the church talks about that. Instead of just like, oh, be good, don't sin, blah, blah, blah. See you next week. I mean, is that how we're supposed to live? Is just, be told that we're sinners and we can't do anything about it? No, we're taught at this church that I go to that you can change because of the grace of God and the faith in God. That once you believe, you just start changing and he helps you. So I always pray for that. I pray to be obedient. I pray to be someone that points others to Jesus and that I'm light in my sphere of influence. So hopefully, God willing, this channel might take off and I'll be able to influence even more people. But if you do have questions, just shoot me an email or text. You can go to my website, which is stampinturtles.com, and I think there's a way to contact me there if you want. So I would love to hear from y'all. And so I just love y'all, and I hope y'all have a blessed day, and we'll see you in the next video. Mwah!